Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. It's me, Rocky, Mark, and Zach, and here we are.
Got the full crew.
Yeah, welcome
back. Here
everybody.
we are. I'm having a shitty day. Can you tell?
I can't tell.
I'm on fire.
I'm scared.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
He's wearing Yankee
sometimes
shit.
you wake up. He's a Mets fan. Sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You want to talk about the Mets? Just fire season going to the dumpster before.
I don't want to talk about them at all.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
The show's off to a great start.
All I know,
DeGrom and Scherzer are both out.
Sometimes you just wake up and it's just the wrong, I'm just having a bad day, and I'd rather dump it on you guys than my wife and kids. So
Sometimes you wake up and it's April 5th, and it's like, what the fuck?
Let me tell you something.
what's life?
Yeah. I don't know. I tell you what I have noticed is that, Mark, you guys were making fun of my small ears.
Okay.
No. It wasn't your small
Wasn't
ears.
sure how that
It was the
sentence was gonna
proximity of your ears to
Mark,
the bottom of your toupee.
You've got a head like a totem
Yikes.
pole. This thing's ruined. This thing's ruined.
It's like a mascot head.
It's like a mascot head. Yeah, it's like a Mormon head.
He head fucked your headphones.
Poor guy.
All right, so
What's the show about today?
Hot dog down the hallway.
Yeah. Tell us about the
Guys,
show.
you don't have to do that. I will segue into it.
I don't think you would.
Well, he's
I
bringing the
would.
space
I
coke
would.
out.
You want to bring the space
so
coke
early.
It wasn't for you,
He's
Phil.
so
It was for
ruined.
Rocky.
It's ruined.
So
Look at what I
retarded.
got at Laguna Beach. It's space coke.
It's ruined.
Bring out the space coke, man.
Bring it out, for Christ's
The
sake.
whole thing is ruined because it feels shitty attitude. But-
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know if you guys have tried this, but Coca-Cola, we'd like you to sponsor us.
Would we? You
Yeah,
think
I
we're
would.
getting Coke on board?
I would like Coke. Coke.
Holy shit.
We're wholesome.
Yeah, a few episodes ago, you were drinking space coke off air, and then we were interested. So
Yeah.
I tell you
this
what,
is
about a whole thing.
it's called Starlight,
Mm.
and the flavor is space.
Yeah.
I tell
So I
you what,
wanted to bring-
Coca-Cola would appreciate, and that's 134,000 views on a TikTok episode. Thank you, viewers.
yeah, we did pretty well, guys.
Yeah,
we want to
Coke would sponsor that shit.
You know what we could do while we're taste testing our space coke? I can read off some TikTok comments that were pretty popular.
That'd be
Let's
fun.
do it.
Now I'm afraid to open this because I feel like Phil shook this
Why?
because he's in a bad mood.
Give me it.
And yet, I feel
Look at
like
that.
on your way here, you probably use that as a prop.
For his balls?
Phil, this is for you.
I
Should
have
we-
a couple.
Should we take one
you
down and
got
pass it
alcohol.
around?
We got to pass it
Well,
around.
what are you going to drink?
I already
Well,
tasted it. I don't need it.
Oh,
Can you
shit.
not grab my cup? Will you
I didn't
filthy hand?
realize that you had stuff in there.
This is a first
With my filthy
time.
hand. You've been like, taste my stuff. I don't care. What the fuck
Yeah, you're
with
supposed
etiquette,
to-
brother?
Did you smell it first?
You know what?
You doing the smell test?
I'm ready to
Should I
quit.
drink this one now?
I'm ready to quit. Here you go.
It's kind of reddish,
It was
right?
smart. Give Mark the
It
most.
smells
'cause
like
he
I don't know
wants
if this
it
is
the
Mark's
fucking
fingers,
most.
but this smells like popcorn to me.
It does, right? Yeah. What do you got? Smell first. What do you
Smells
think
like
it smells
popcorn.
like?
It smells like carbonation.
No, I smell popcorn.
I can't smell anything. My allergies,
fuck.
allergies are kicking my
So
ass.
COVID.
It's not a good thing. To
For
taste.
real. For real. Does anyone else smell Jupiter?
All right, go on. God.
I smell
so-
Uranus.
Cheers, brother.
All right, so
Hey,
let's. you
Zach's
guys
already
want-
drinking it. Talk about etiquette.
Tastes
Well,
like
yeah, I was cheers into your joke.
it tastes like a Jelly Belly like popcorn
It
to me.
tastes like shit.
That's space.
It
Sponsored a
tastes
lot.
really. It doesn't taste good.
It definitely tastes
And
like
the carbonation is fucking weak, right?
It tastes like when you lick your fingers after you eat all the popcorn at a movie, and you're like,
I think that tastes
little,
better.
like,
It
residual
tastes
butter.
like when you're at Disney and you try like that soda from Uruguay
okay,
or something.
so-
yeah,
It's fair to say Coke is not going to support. It's
Yeah.
not going to sponsor us.
Well, maybe they need somebody to look them in the eye and tell them the truth.
I think it
Rocky.
tastes pretty good, actually.
Well,
I,
I bet you
lie.
do.
I like it.
it depends.
Mr. Chick-fil-A, Mr. I mean, you're basically wearing a Coke sticker on your ass.
Well, it depends. Is Coke's new tagline "This tastes like shit"? Because if so, I think we just nailed it.
Listen, I love Coke.
Is
I
that
love
our-
me a Coke product,
Is that our tagline?
but I just don't like this.
Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. Coke
What?
tastes like
You want to
shit.
say it and try that again?
what the fuck was
What's
that?
the name of the show?
Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room.
There you go.
That sounded like
That was
foreign
wrong.
language there for a second.
What is
Okay.
in that? Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room.
Speaking of the Ultimate Fantasy Flocker Room,
Are you high?
we had
No,
some
we talked about this before. Space
we had some engaging TikToks recently on our last episode. We had a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
guess we did.
viewer engagement, so I pulled a few of the funny / popular / kind of ridiculous comments. So
I feel like a lot of these are going to be on my thread.
read a few of these. So this one is off one that we actually posted in today's time, being Tuesday, about ugliest jerseys. And we're
that's right, yeah.
definitely, we were talking about like the Seahawks lime green is pretty nasty to us.
Yeah.
Bumblebee. So this guy comments, he said, Brooks.prods, PRODZ, says, bro, what? The Seahawks color rush is amazing. And so were the Bumblebee ones. And then I pin of shamed it. You can
He's
pin a comment.
that guy. I checked his profile. He's a nobody.
Either way.
Okay, I
Well, hold
have
on,
to
wait.
agree. I do like.
You're
the
a nobody,
Bumblebee.
Brooks.
So
I like
he,
the
so I
Bumblebee.
so I pinned it with pin of shame.
Yeah, I seen
And
that.
then he said, use a safety pin to fix your shirt so you can get some bitches.
Whoa, Brooks. That's not politically correct, buddy.
Wow.
That was funny. I thought it was pretty good. One of them, I think this was on Mark's NFC playoff predictions. And it's just a random one. It's just like, because you were
Is
talking
it
about
cutting
your...
down Mark? Because I like that.
Well, no, this one just says, Joga Romo on TikTok said, I remember my first beer too. I don't know.
He's trying to say Mark's an alcoholic, which is something we've
I mean, it's long been rumored.
No, I
about
think
it.
what he's saying is that the take is it was juvenile, is what he's trying to say, but he doesn't
Yeah.
realize the complicated thoughts that have been going behind that
It's complicated, all right.
to make those predictions.
Now, to be
So-
fair, who was
this
that?
whole show is-
so-
Ryan Dogo. He's-
Joga Romo.
He's another
Joga Romo.
Yeah.
nobody.
I got something for you, buddy.
Cheeto does.
Yeah,
Wait.
come
Should-
right from behind the stardust.
Should we be alienating our people?
No.
that listen?
No, they-
No,
I think so.
it should just be me.
this is credit for the comments.
It should just be me.
What you guys say after the comments is
No, but I mean,
know.
if I was a commenter,
good,
and you guys,
good cop, bad cop, Mark. You know,
All
just,
right,
if I'm
all right.
already going,
This
you don't
one's-
got
here
to
we go.
pile on. You
This
know?
one- this one's
Let's
for
play
me,
bad cop. Bad cop's funner.
408.jerry says, this was my AFC playoff predictions, and I said the Steelers, which, you know, you love or hate. And he said, bro said Steelers, but he did Stealers, which I thought was kind of funny. I thought Rocco
Well, maybe
honestly
that's-
commented at first, but
That might be galaxy brain, though. You know? He might be 2 steps ahead of you, but
maybe.
I don't understand why people are so surprised by the Steelers making. They made it last year.
Yeah, and they got better.
And if it was Rocky's comment, anything that has an S, he omits the S, and anything that doesn't have
That's
an
true.
S, he puts the S in
It
there.
would have been Steeler.
So it would have been the Pittsburgh Steeler.
Every word should be pluralized.
That goddamn thief in Pittsburgh.
Every word.
He makes the.
Every word.
It's interesting.
You know, I used to work with a guy that used to pluralize every word.
Was it you?
That means he believes in a mirror
So it would
world.
be Phil's.
Was it
He
another
would say Phil's.
Italian
No, he
gentleman?
was a country boy. We used to call him cornbread.
Well,
His mom
Creative.
Listen, his mom would pack a lunch and it would be 4 fried squirrels. This is true.
what
No,
the
yeah,
hell?
hold on.
And
Hold on.
and a plate of cornbread.
You're so full of shit.
4 fried squirrels?
4 fried squirrels.
Were they skinned at least?
No.
You don't know.
And a
So
plate of
you never
cornbread.
tried it?
No.
Bullshit.
Plate of cornbread.
Wait, every day?
I got one more comment. I tried to sprinkle everybody's, post in here. This is one of the ones where Rocky's going off about the Browns. I think this is one where Deshaun Watson just got traded, and you were talking about how you don't know if you can root for him.
Yeah.
And someone said, IC9911 said, bro, acting like the Browns is a destination. You aren't good enough to pick and choose.
Bro is acting, though. Bro is acting.
And then to follow up, Derek Blankenship 91 said, Cleveland is a city of baggage. So
I agree.
It's the factory of sadness.
Those are pretty
That's
good
true.
points.
yeah.
The first guy I
It's
got
probably
to
the
say,
best comments you read.
Yeah, the first guy I got to say is pretty funny.
Save the best for last.
But you know what's funny is he probably lives in Cincinnati, which is another shithole. So I don't know
Dang.
what he's saying.
We should find out where he's from.
So
I love how 3 minutes ago you were like, should we be alienating our listeners? And then somebody
he
destroys Cleveland and you're like, fuck these people.
he tugged on the heartstrings there.
Yeah.
Stuck on Superman's cape.
Yeah, so comment and maybe call in, and you can debate back with us.
Yeah, we look forward to that. Rocky, what are you doing, Rocky?
I was getting started.
Don't
He
start
started talking.
He's
doing
so
anything.
antsy 'cause he's
my
back.
God.
Well, no, because he started talking. I wanted
He's
to
got
stop.
trigger
so-
fingers.
So to stop me, you hit the drop?
No. I was.
Oh, this
I
tastes
had
like
already
popcorn.
started.
So here we go, guys.
Haley's comment.
What we got going on today? We got pressing issues for you guys. We're going to get to some ass of the week, class of the week as well. A little bit of b-ball talk. Talk about some of that MLB sign stealing that's going on. And I think we're going to start with pressing issues. Rocky, you can now hit the drop.
Ass of the week right here. pressing issues. What's the issue? If there's issues, we're gonna press them
Like a panini.
Come on now. Hey, get ready.
Rocky, a question. You in high school, did you ever like participate in any theater or anything like that?
No, I did not.
I can see Rocky.
I was just thinking if he like him like doing a commercial for Chick-fil-A. Like you've done that, right? So I'm sure you had to like do it like 30 times, right?
I can see Rocky as the overzealous prop guy for his high school like musicals.
No.
He was like a tree.
Where he's like trying to like run around and he's like trying to get the right props for the next for the next act.
No,
I thought you meant, like,
no, Rocky was slinging in high school for sure.
I thought you meant like he was a tree, like
slinging
a prop.
what? What was he slinging?
Slinging that D. I
Slinging
think.
space coke.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I did not. I was not in any kind of. I got some pictures of high school.
He just
Somebody
saying no
sent
or
me
yes.
some.
Are you the reason why women have stories about band camp? Is that you? Your band
I
camp?
never was
He's
in
band
band
camp.
camp. I never acted in any kind of school plays.
Uh-huh.
I played football. I wrestled a couple years.
Oh yeah.
That fits the brand.
I played baseball 1 year in high school, and then I gave up because I was bored.
Nice. Checks out.
See what else? I played soccer 8 years. 8 years of soccer.
If you knew a guy in high school, his name was Rocco.
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 Hey, yo, Rocco.
What do you think?
What do I think?
I think he's not dweeby guy.
No.
No. I think I have to avoid him because of who his father is and who his father's father is.
You know what I was? I was a champion of the underdogs.
You could get clipped.
That's what
Champion
I
of the underdog.
I think that's what you like to fashion yourself, but
was. No, I was.
but what do you? Wait.
Yeah.
So you
So like
probably
you saw
underdog.
you saw Injustice and you went there. You were Batman.
was
You're
Batman.
you were Batman of Cleveland.
I was Batman.
Wow.
I was Batman of the Spaghetto. That's right.
All right, so let's
What
get into
are you,
our first person
Italian?
issue.
All right, let's go. What do you? This
Can you just do it?
No, I'm going to let you because this was your word. You
No,
wanted-
no.
Did Brady
It's gotta
cuck
come-
Arians? But this is what you want to talk about.
I got a lot of opinions about Brady.
Did Brady cuck Arians? I think everybody. I mean, it's not a coincidence that
So
he
set it
comes
up,
back,
right? Yeah, he comes back and what?
and then what is it? A week, 2 weeks later, and
Yeah.
Arians is in the front office, and he brings in
Todd Bowles is the
Todd
head coach.
Bowles.
Yeah, and what was Todd Bowles like? What was he successful as a head coach prior?
Yeah, but that's not. He's been successful as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he has been. He has been.
and he got a role. He went to the Jets.
Yeah.
First year they were 10-6, and they had a journeyman quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think he did okay.
I heard an interesting take too. I think it was Colin Coward that said this, or someone, where they weren't gonna bring another head coach in. It was already too late in the process. They had nobody there, and Tom Brady wanted to keep the offensive coordinator. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. He wanted to keep him like in his pocket, like throughout the entire process. So he didn't want him to step into being a head coach. So that's why Todd Bowles is now the head coach, is like the face of it. And Brady stays there, and then what's his name goes to the front office.
Yeah.
Everyone gets what they want, kind of.
So I don't think Arians got what he wanted.
No.
I think what happened
Really?
is,
The fuck was that noise you were making?
and I felt like there's like
I don't know, man.
pinching one off is what I think.
It's like when you fill something with too much air and it's just got to let out.
Yeah. This is what I think happened. I think that Brady said, "Get rid of this guy, or I'm out,"
Yeah.
and
Really?
they didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
So he retired. That's where this weird retirement, not retirement thing happened. Then he retired.
Okay.
And then I think that they basically realized, oh shit, he's serious.
Yeah, it's not a
So-
coincidence that all this happened.
So
So
Brady-
they said, hey, come back. And then, let Arian save some face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come back
It's a lot of
and
face to
then
save.
we'll retire. Then we'll retire him. I don't think he likes Arians as a coach.
So Brady did the Arians what Kamala Harris wants to do to Joe Biden. Is basically what you're saying.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, but why does he not like Bruce Arians as much? I thought, didn't Bruce Arians like let him do his own thing for the most part?
No, Bruce Arians
know.
criticized him a bunch.
Yeah, he did.
A lot.
Yeah, criticized him about the interceptions the
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to be Bill Belichick.
Maybe-
I mean, most guys like Arians.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
Yeah.
players like him.
Yeah.
Maybe I think
Tom
what
Brady's
I
just in his
heard
own
is that
class.
when he retired, he was upset with how the organization wasn't very buttoned up, which is understandable because
Came from-
he's
came from
comparing it to
Belichick.
probably the most buttoned up organization in the league.
Does anybody else find that interesting though that wherever Tom Brady's at, right, they kind of try to sweep like any kind of coach controversy under the rug, right? So like the Deflategate, or even ownership, the Robert Kraft
Who's they?
hand job, the NFL.
What do you mean? They took them to court. They didn't try to
swept the
sweep.
hand
No,
job
but
under
like
the
it's
rug.
it's not spoken about every, like we're still talking about Deshaun Watson 2 years later. Like there are things that are still spoken about years later. And last year, something that got swept under the rug in Tampa Bay was when Arians slapped the shit out of that one defender, and like it was never mentioned.
Yeah,
and I
but
think
that-
it's
I mean-
because they're trying to keep Brady's teams like squeaky clean. I think that's how I feel.
I think Brady's running for
Did you just
office.
reference him slapping the player?
I think that Goodell
You
has.
thought-
I
I'm
think
just
he's.
saying.
I think he's half mast for Tom
Do you
Brady.
remember when that happened?
I remember. Yeah, I remember
you
what
think
team
that
it was
was-
again. I remember the date. I remember the goddamn time.
Well, I'm just saying. I
I
feel like it's a little
Paused
a
it.
little soft of you to
I
bring that.
think-
That's slightly
that
soft, but,
Brady-
I mean,
No,
we're
it's
talking-
slightly soft. I think it's pretty soft.
I mean, we're talking about Tyreek Hill only slapped his kid on the butt for acting a fool.
well, we're
right?
not talking about
Adrian
that.
Peterson just kind of gave his kid a little.
Oh my gosh, this is.
All right, so no, those are different things, right?
Off the rails.
But Bruce Arians, I mean, he's slapping him. I mean, if you played any organized football, your coach just grabs you by the face mask.
Oh, it was a different time, dude. Yes.
I think it's still like that, though.
but
I think it's still like that.
I think
don't think
woke
so.
nation
I think you
doesn't
just
want
tried
it
to
to be
jump
like
down
that.
his
though.
throat for no reason.
I don't think woke nation
I never
wants
played
that.
football, but I was like with the team very closely because I helped with
Did
some
you
other
see
stuff.
any of that? Because I
There's-
don't think they still grab.
No, there's a funny story where the coach was pissed off for some reason. He actually coaches at UF now. Shout out that guy. But he was like,
Water
he was like,
sucks. It really, really sucks. That's what I feel like this story is
Yeah.
going to.
He was like, if you got a job, quit. If you got a girlfriend, break up with her. And then there was one person that said something, and then they had to go run hills, and then you get pushed, you get shoved. You know,
Yeah, I think if you're
do your thing.
any coach that's not when you come to the sideline talking
yeah,
to you,
that's-
the team probably sucks, though.
Yeah, that
right?
was every,
I mean,
that was every play.
the ones that they're treating with kid gloves, those teams,
Yeah.
they're probably not that great. They're
the
probably
coach,
soft
the coach
teams.
liked me, and he was
I mean, it's
constantly
football,
grabbing
you know?
smacking me across the head.
Yeah.
How
Well, I
dare,
mean,
how dare he
a few
touch
good
the Batman
games.
of Cleveland?
Rocky's.
He
I
didn't
mean,
know. He didn't know.
Mark's a basketball guy, right? So, and he didn't play like he played in South Jersey, so
was
it's
too
not
busy
like he's
getting-
really rough and.
was too busy.
I was more of a baseball guy,
Well, there you go.
but
Unwritten rules, don't touch me.
He was too busy,
I had my.
with the nuts on his back. He,
Nothing wrong with nuts on you.
Well, in baseball, the position I played, I got to look down on everybody anyway because I took the mound, brother.
UFLR.
Because you played at a
Nothing
little
wrong with
tiny
inside.
school and you were
I
taller than
I
everybody.
took the mound. All right, I was above
Yeah, you took a mound
everybody,
to something
throwing 90 plus heat down on all my.
and blew out your arm.
Mark's a Mounds type of guy instead of Almond Joys.
Blew out your arm, or you just got too lazy.
I did blow out my arm actually.
right.
Took an arrow to the knee.
Thanks for bringing that up, asshole.
Well, you brought it up.
All right, listen. Ultimate fantasy locker room. Nothing wrong with nuts on you. That's our new tagline.
Oh no.
He
I don't know
likes
if-
nuts better than a
I don't know
slap.
if anybody said nothing wrong with nuts on you.
So he said it, and I kind of agreed with it in your case.
Okay.
So
Oh, whatever.
So yeah, Eagles brilliance. I don't know where we want to go with this. I mean, I'm not in this conversation.
This is
so
contradictory, even to put those two words together.
I don't even know what we're talking
Firstly.
about.
I
Neither
think
do I.
that
I'm
listen,
gonna keep my composure.
They made an amazing trade, and I think that they've made several. I think they've had several years of good moves.
So here's before you do this, right?
What's your good move? Jalen
I
Hurts?
just feel like it's a little biased because you're an Eagles fan, which is fine. I expect it.
And he's trying to court you.
But it's Rocky, just because now Rocky's running with it, and I don't know if I like it.
Rocky doesn't necessarily
I don't
have
know
a
if I like
barometer of excellence. He is a Browns fan.
How about we level the playing field and I'll admit to one of Rocky's mistakes. How do you spell brilliance?
The Brilliance.
Oh,
Oh, that's
little
wonderful.
Brilliance.
It's right up there for you, buddy.
Look behind you, Phil.
It's right up there. No, I see it on his screen right here.
Oh, wrong, yeah.
A little brilliance
Now
pad.
I see what I did. Brilliance. Yeah, well, it's
Well,
hey.
it makes
is
sense
that
because
French?
you can wash away the
Real-
yellows.
real-
Listen, this is the normal now. It's here. We got to ride with it. So
Listen, I'm going to spell check this stuff before you
well,
put it
no,
up there
they
for
were
now.
trying to warn me actually beforehand.
We were.
They were. They were trying to be.
Then we went anti-warn him.
They did. They did.
At which point he still didn't pick up the hint.
Yeah.
They did, but
And
this
continued
is-
on.
All the
this
signs
is
are
it.
there.
This is it now. This is.
You know what you got to do? You got to sound it out.
Brill.
I thought I did. Hey, I thought I did.
That's funny.
Thought I
Tried
did.
and tried and true method.
I thought I did. I'm not gonna lie.
That might be the funniest thing you ever said. That was
Okay.
good.
I think that going back to the Eagles, I think that Jalen Hurts was a great move.
Go Birds.
Okay.
And I think that this trade with the Saints is fantastic for both teams. Number one, it gives
Fill
the
me in.
Saints-
I was working.
I have the details.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have a counterpoint here at the end. So
Yeah, I'll take a back burner because of the bias. Clearly,
So
I'll
next
let you
week, can we
guys-
talk about the Giants?
Sure.
about
Okay,
what getting
cool.
fourth place in the division?
No.
Ooh. All right, so the Saints are acquiring the 16th and the 19th overall pick and a 6th round selection, 194th, with the Eagles, and then the Eagles are getting the 8th. They're sending Philadelphia. They're sending Philadelphia the 18th overall pick as part of the package that also includes a 2023 first rounder, a 2024 second rounder, a 2022 pick from the 3rd round, and then a 7th round in April's draft.
So they're giving up one first-round pick this year.
The Eagles.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eagles are, but they're getting a first round and a second round next year.
Okay.
So what I like about this
The
is,
Eagles had what? 3 first round picks, right?
yeah, so they still have 2 first-round picks this year.
Okay.
is it first and second next year, or is it first 1 year and then second another year? I think right.
This
Yeah.
is Phillies. They're getting a second rounder.
Yeah, 2024.
Okay, so
second
they get
rounder.
Yeah. So what I like about it meets the needs of the Saints because it gets them younger, quick, and
Yes.
and they're way over the cap. So they got to figure out a way to get cheap.
Yeah.
What I like about this is the Eagles still have 2 picks this year, but they like next year's draft better.
I think
still-
most teams. Well,
Yeah, most
Yeah.
teams do. They're not sure about Hurts. Next year's draft is a QB draft.
more. Yeah, it's a QB draft next
So
year.
if Hurts doesn't work out, now they've got 2 picks to trade up if they want to go after a quarterback. Anyways, it's just capital, 2 first-round picks. I think the Eagles have put together quite a good string of pretty good decisions. It's a brilliant front office.
Here's my
Brilliant.
problem.
All right. So wait,
All right,
hold on.
no,
Brilliant,
go, go.
brilliant with an eye.
But why brilliant?
Yeah, why?
I
Brilliant?
mean, I do agree the trade is a good trade. It's for what they're
they're-
trying to do and what they have this
they're
year
making-
already.
they're
It is
making
very
a move.
smart trade.
it's
they're making-
Belichick-esque.
But when you
They're
jump,
making moves.
you jump to brilliant.
Belichick-esque is
Making
what,
moves.
was what
No,
Mark just said.
well, I think I agree with the trade.
Yeah.
But he just said they have a brilliant front
But
office.
he-
so
he's-
I mean, what else
have?
have they done that you like? Besides, don't say Jalen Hurts. You said that already.
Oh, Jalen Hurts. I think that what they've
You,
done.
I just said don't say Jalen Hurts. You said that already.
But you
Do you like
gotta
Jalen
say it.
Rager?
But you
But you
did.
gotta say
But
it.
you did say
Oh,
it
fuck.
though.
Jeremy
You gotta say
Macklin.
it.
But you
What else
said
do you
it.
like?
No,
I don't
Jeremy
like-
Macklin was good.
I don't like Rager, but
I like Jeremy Macklin.
I
Yeah, he's
like
good.
the
Even though I
moves that
hated
they've
him, I liked
made.
him.
I like the moves they've made to acquire 3 first-round picks in
Okay.
order to trade with. The
Yeah,
Saints
that was
to get more.
that
Saying
was
a Whiteside
okay. That was
plays.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow they figured out some fool to take Carson Wentz, another good move, and to take Wentz at that ridiculous salary that they signed him at.
That's. I mean,
That's still. It's not
it
here
was.
nor
It
there.
was a smart move for them.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if it's.
It worked out for Philly. It didn't work out for Indy, but
Well, it's not supposed to.
even Frank Reich said that Carson Wentz is still on the. He still sees Carson
I think
Wentz
he's
as
still a guy
winner
a
in
lot
this
of teams
league.
would trade for.
Yes.
honestly.
Well,
But,
they did, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, even
so
Here's
Commanders.
my problem with this. The whole entire thing
okay.
is that Rocky is
Make it quick because we got like a
Unwilling.
minute and a half.
Rocky's unwilling to recognize the brilliance that is Tom Brady,
Oh my God.
7-time Super Bowl champion, and everything that Tom Brady has done. And he still questions Tom Brady, but he thinks the Eagles are brilliant for picking up 2 extra picks, one in the second round next year, or one in the first round next year, and one in the second round of 2024. You son of a bitch. Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champion.
Tom Brady didn't do it on his
Recognize
own.
that brilliance.
Listen, the Mapote didn't do it on his own. He had a bunch of players
That's not
around
going
him.
to catch on.
What does Mapote stand for?
The most accomplished player of all time.
Okay.
He's not anything special.
Oh,
he had
wow.
a bunch of all-stars around him.
Rocky's building a brand. This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
I
The
want a
Mapote.
shirt. Make
Hashtag
me-
I will.
Make me a shirt.
I will make you a
Because
shirt.
let me tell you what.
The Mapote.
It would be like if the Eagles got the Rams and the Browns and the Packers front office to come and help them make that trade. That's what Brady did. Brady didn't win on his own. He had a bunch of guys around him that were pretty damn good too.
All right, so I agree with you to a certain extent, but to counterpoint
Thank you.
when he was in New England, he didn't have a bunch of great players around him.
Correct.
He had a great coach.
Depends on the year.
Well, there was a 3-year stretch there where he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker.
He always had a good line.
He had a very
Did he always have a good line?
Always had a tandem of good running
Yeah, the
backs.
solid. Well, all right, so this is my point. They were good because they were there. Besides,
Yeah.
when they weren't in New England, they were basically they were trash.
Well, no, Corey,
Name one guy that played there. They took Corey Dillon from the Bengals. That's fair. Corey Dillon was a guy that, they took from the Bengals. He's in trouble. They brought him in. But for the most part, I mean, he's playing with guys that are Troy Brown, Shane Vereen, Kevin Fall.
Whoa, Shane Vereen.
I'm just saying,
Just
it's
kidding.
a bunch of guys that's like, they were there. You know them because they played there.
Troy Brown was a wide receiver, so
always had an above average defense.
I said Troy Brown.
that was a wide receiver though. I thought you were pinpointing running backs.
Did I say I was pinpointing running backs? Or
Yeah,
did I
you
just
said
say a
in the
name?
backfield because he was a tandem
didn't.
of running backs.
I didn't say backfield.
And then we went to Corey Dillon and we went on.
LeGarrette Blount.
I didn't
Yeah,
specify
okay.
running backs.
Garrett Blunt. There's
Rex,
another one.
Rex Burkhead, James White.
A bunch of guys that.
Sweet feet.
Little guy by the name of Rob Gronkowski.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, if we're going to start bringing everybody in.
All right. So
now you're making
you've
his
got.
point.
So you.
I wanted you to make his anti-point.
I'm not. You guys named like two guys that are like legit stars that he's played 20 years in the league that he played with.
We haven't even said
But all
Randy
I'm
Moss.
saying is that
I said Randy Moss.
There's no one player.
And when he got
that
Randy
wins
Moss, they went undefeated.
championships.
Besides, beating the Giants.
There's no one player that
Awful
wins by himself. The front office, they made this move by themselves.
Hee hee.
So, and by the way, brilliance is spelled right.
There you go.
You
Look at
changed it.
that.
Wow.
Look at that. Honestly, I will say this. I kind of,
Now Eagles is spelled wrong.
don't want to.
Just kidding.
Can you imagine?
Did you look?
I didn't look. There's no other team that had a first-year head coach. I mean, I could be wrong. I literally don't know. But there's no other.
Go ahead and say it. I'm sorry.
There's no other team that had a first-year head coach that made the playoffs last year. There's no team that's this young with this fresh of a face at head coach, or just in general with how the team's projections going that has this much promise.
Who
I don't think there
coached
is.
Cincinnati last year?
If the Eagles
Zach
knew
Taylor,
how
he's been
to,
there for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor.
He
if
almost
the
got fired
Eagles
before
knew how
that.
to pick a wide receiver,
Yeah.
they
Pretty bad. But
Devontae Smith is like
what I will say
now
Yeah.
is that
maybe.
that's fair and that's a good point.
Yeah.
And all Eagles hate aside, I did pick them to go back to the playoffs this year. But it's the NFL, so we know how quickly a team can look great,
yeah, that's fair.
and they can come back this year and start off 2-6,
Yeah.
and then we're talking about changing coaches or whatever. So
What are the top 3 like front offices we think right now? Would the Rams be up there?
no.
No.
You don't think so after winning Super Bowl?
I mean, I think it's easy.
That was front office decision right there to
Yeah,
go
but
that way.
they're selling it worked.
Yeah.
It almost didn't work,
Right.
and
And they
they
truly were only,
mortgaged probably in their next 5 to 6 years
Yeah.
to win that ball. But you won, so you won.
Yeah,
but
and you only really were missing one key element there.
but I think you have to give it to them because it
do.
worked.
But I don't
I
think
think Von Miller worked out, but I think really you didn't even need Von Miller. I think you bring in Matthew Stafford and you really give that team a chance.
Well,
Which is what the front office
but
did.
you think about like what they've done is what the Browns are trying to do, and if the Browns don't win it all,
Yeah.
they have screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So you
so
gotta
back
give it
to
to
my
the Rams to
point.
win.
My
But
point
that's
was
a-
that
that's a 2-year plan.
They won, but you said top 5.
3-5 for time's sake.
I don't think so. I think for that reason, because if we're gonna keep everything balanced, well, how I would rank front offices, they're not really building for the future at the same time.
Because I wouldn't say the Packers are the top 5.
No,
I wouldn't say the Packers either.
I would say right now,
I'd
top
argue-
2 are probably both in Florida. Jacksonville and Miami, what they've done to bring
I
people
don't agree
into
with that
town.
at all.
I mean, they're just spending money
I mean,
on top of money
I
to
think
bring in
any-
people to surround their shitty quarterbacks with
So
talent.
are we saying the top 5 most aggressive? Or are we saying the best?
He's saying the
I would
best front
argue that
office
the
is the
Eagles
moves
are
that they're
top
making to
3.
put them in the line.
I don't
in
think
line
he
for
said
winning.
that. I don't think he said
I would
that.
argue
he just
that-
said the top 5.
I would argue the Eagles are top 3 front office.
I think I would have
Makes
to
sense.
say. I mean, I can't go there yet because I need to see sustained success.
They
So
won
for me,
they won a Super Bowl in like a 2-year span from with Wentz and everyone.
Yeah, that's true. And then they fired the coach and got rid of Wentz.
And we've been relevant.
Well, you were relevant last year. That's why.
No,
but
but we were relevant the year before that. Like we were on the downswing, but we still had what we needed, and then we reloaded in the offseason and became.
you were
playoff team.
relevant the way we were. Like the team,
Is
the
the front-
division. Well, we were playing for the division on last day. You guys weren't.
Yeah,
Is the
that's
front
true.
office
That's true.
still the same
It
front
was
office?
6 wins either way.
Howie
when
Roseman's been there
McNabb
forever.
when McNabb quarterbacked the
Ooh,
team?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Anyway,
because, I mean
we
that's a
spent too much
5-year
time on
stretch
Eagles,
of
so
screwing up.
Let's say top 5. Off the top of my head, if I would say Steelers.
Yes.
I'd say the Ravens as well.
yes, I would agree with those.
I'd say
two.
San Francisco.
I would say Pittsburgh. I wouldn't say San Fran.
Why not? They've been. Why not?
Because they're going through a huge quarterback controversy for the last 2 years.
They just went to the NFC Championship with that huge quarterback controversy.
No, I get that their team is good, but they've done nothing to make that team better.
I mean, I think you got to.
The Rams just had the blueprint
You're
for
just
a team
talking
that's
about this
missing a
offseason,
quarterback.
though. We're talking about the best front offices in total, not just this offseason moves.
I think you got to include KC in there somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think you do. I mean,
they instilled. Well, New England. Like
Say Buffalo.
New England, we have to put there.
I mean, if you don't put
There's
New
a lot.
England in there, it's a crying shame because obviously what they've done with what little they've had and still been relevant. Last year they shouldn't have been relevant.
What they did in spite of
Indy's
Brady
been good
being
too,
there.
man.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot. We would have to sit down. There's a lot of teams that have been pretty good.
Let's move on.
Like certain.
How about we go on to our next topic?
Yeah, we've been there for a while.
Biggest wide receiver impact. And,
Why don't you give us the list?
Yeah,
Rock?
I have no
You have
idea.
the list? Okay, who has the list?
Yeah, I think
There
it
you
was Zach.
I have a few of the off-season acquisitions.
How we want to do this? We want to spit out what we think after everything that you mentioned? Or
No, I think we should just say them and then we'll go down the line or something.
Yep.
You wanted to go last, right, Mark?
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were each naming like biggest wide receiver impact.
I'm just gonna name like the ones that.
All right,
name all of them, and then we'll kind of go around.
In case you haven't been paying attention to the news, Tyreek Hill is traded to the Dolphins. Allen Robinson signed with the Rams. Amari Cooper was traded to the Browns. Devontae Adams is now a Raider. Devontae Parker is now a Patriot. That's probably the most recent. Juju is now a Chief. Robert Woods goes to Tennessee. And then Christian Kirk, Mark wanted to be put on here, goes to Jacksonville.
So what
about Brian Pringle?
Oh, yeah, Brian Pringle is now wide receiver 1 for the Bears.
What are the parameters? So we say biggest impact. What do we mean by that?
It's subjective. I would say, are they now a competitive team? Are they now a Super Bowl winning team? Are they dynamic offense?
So we're not saying impact to the wide receiver themselves.
No, the impact of the move to both teams, the team they left and the team that they're going to.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I have what I think is the best acquisition. Devontae Adams going to the Raiders.
I agree.
Oh,
yeah. So
100%.
So I think he has the biggest impact too.
I honestly, it might make him like borderline Super Bowl team.
The biggest.
I really think. I mean, that's insane because he's back with his college quarterback. That offense could very well be top 5 offense.
So this is what's
very good team.
This is what crazy about this is that Devontae
like mini
that Alzheimer's.
Devontae Adams going to Oakland or to Las Vegas is.
What did I say? Oh, I said the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is fantastic for Carr, and that rejuvenates that college, that collegiate, the flame there.
Just get through it.
But it gives Carr a legitimate number 1. It's going to free Waller up to do what Waller does best, and then they have an unbelievable underneath man in Hunter Renfrow, right?
Who's actually voted as the most underrated player in the NFL by the players.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And, Carr finally has any newsflash. He's got Josh Jacobs, and they just signed Kenyon Drake to less money this year to keep him in as the change of pace.
They restructured him.
Catching back. So that is a quality move on the Raiders' behalf. On the flip side, I know it's going to impact Green Bay
a lot.
Without it, I don't know about a lot.
A lot.
It's going to impact them. It's going to impact him because he doesn't have his favorite guy. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's worked with
the greatest of all time.
He's worked with really, really, a lot like Tom Brady did in New England. He's worked with really poor receivers and he's turned them into superstars.
Well, nothing like Tom Brady.
What did Randall Cobb do after he left Green Bay?
Well, when he left Green Bay,
what did Jordy Nelson do after he left Green Bay?
He was like on his last leg. He's out of the league now.
Well, you're saying that, yes, but they could. Some of these receivers, when they're in good systems, their legs last a little bit longer than everybody else's legs. So,
but did you see him play when Devontae Adams was out? When he had,
I think we got off topic somehow.
No.
Who are the guys? I can't even remember their names. The guys on the roster right
MVS
now.
and Alan Lazard.
No, MVS is a Chief.
They were pretty stagnant. That offense.
They have Allen Lazard.
They still went as the number 1 seed last year.
And Amari Rodgers.
I'm just talking about the games he played without them.
They have 2 wide receivers on their team right now.
Yeah,
basically.
and I mean they're in the talk about maybe trading for Cooks, maybe trading for DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing. I actually like your pick about Adams, although I think Adams might be the one that actually steps the farthest back. Personally,
that could also
from
happen.
Stats because there's no
a lot
way
of
he
bounce.
keeps that pace up. his
way.
touchdown pace, there's just no way.
You know what? I'm going to have to look that stat up, and I will. As we get more in depth as the year goes on, I'll definitely be contrasting, and this is just for our viewers too. I'll be contrasting like previous years to future years. Carr is probably right in the same ballpark
Carr's
as Aaron
fantastic.
Rodgers as far as pass attempts.
No, he's fantastic, but he's not a 50 touchdown a guy.
Because he hasn't had that guy. That's what I'm saying. If he's got the
Possibly.
same pass attempts, and if his yards per pass attempt is the same,
Possibly.
this could be the game changer for Carr.
All right, so who's your guy? Oh, well, he wants to go last. So who's your guy?
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill only because in that system, let me tell you what, Miami, they made a lot of moves. They fortified their line. They got not one, but two really great linemen, I think.
Yeah.
So Tua is going to be behind that Alabama line that he's used to with 4 to 5 seconds to throw. They are fast as hell.
Yeah.
Waddle's fast. Hill's fast.
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds is fast. They're just a quick team. So I think working within that system, they're going to be an interesting team. I think they're going to be yards after catch monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to have big impact.
All right, so here's what sorry, not to cut you off. I'm going to,
But to
this
cut
is
you
what
off.
I'm waiting for.
You're going to talk about everyone.
This is
I
what
mean,
I'm
go
waiting
ahead,
for,
buddy.
man. This is my wheelhouse. I love this stuff. So what I love about that trade there, Miami bringing him in, is it essentially turns, and clip this, whatever you want to do. This turns Mike Gesicki into Travis Kelce. And I'm not saying 100% Travis Kelce,
Yes.
but what I am saying is that Miami needs somebody, because let's face it, everyone is ripping Devontae Parker. He didn't get open as much as he should have, or they would have liked. Tyreek Hill is a burner. That dude's going to be open, which means they have to dedicate schemes to Tyreek Hill, which means Mike Gesicki is going to rule the middle of the field. And if you thought Jalen Waddle was a target monster last year and was productive last year, bring Tyreek Hill to that team, because Kansas City didn't have a true number 2. Mecole Hardman, I don't think so. He doesn't have near the talent Waddle had.
Byron Pringle, who's that?
Yeah.
So
I actually think
that's Chicago's number 2, by the way, you bastard.
I
All right.
actually think it helps Edmonds if he's used correctly, and
Edmonds is gonna be
Waddle.
so
Waddle
good.
and Gesicki. Gesicki is going to be a monster this year. Just putting it out there.
Well,
Who's
I mean, you
yours?
guys took mine.
Oh, really?
But I'll talk about some. Well, you know what? You want to talk about Amari Cooper for me? I mean,
No. You go
Okay.
first, and then I'll follow it up.
But I mean, I like the fit for Amari Cooper, especially with Watson. Not as good as Hopkins, but he reminds me of the same style of wide receiver as Hopkins. Not a speed guy, but a route guy, strong hands. Even though Cooper dropped a lot of passes when he was with Oakland. I don't know. I like the fit there. I mean, they've had some good. They had Beckham there, but it's kind of a wait and see thing with Watson coming in, because you don't know what it's going to look like. But I kind of reference him like I did to Hopkins, so it's interesting.
They do need.
I do agree that
right.
I think Adams is the big. I think it's gonna. I like the Raiders a lot this year because of Adams.
I'm
being
really high
added
on
to
the
that
Raiders.
offense.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Jarvis Landry not signed yet? So really, Cooper is like the most valuable player on the Browns
Well,
right now,
that's-
besides Watson.
That's my problem. Cleveland does need a second receiver,
They'll take care of that, though. I think.
but I do think that Cooper is the best route runner of maybe. I think of a handful of great route runners.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there. as
Well,
far as
who
one
you
of
want
the
to give
greatest.
us yours?
So let me just touch on Cooper real quick. I think this is typical Cleveland.
You're always touching.
This is
guys.
typical Cleveland. They're going to take a guy that was, in Oakland, he played his way out of Oakland, and in Dallas, he apparently played his way out of Dallas again. So now you've got a guy that's played his way out of 2 cities that Cleveland's like, let's roll the dice on him. You got Deshaun Watson, let's roll it. Cleveland seems like a dice rolling town. Are there any casinos in Cleveland?
There is.
All right, there should be. It should be the Vegas of the Midwest, because Amari Cooper, he doesn't lack talent. So he's got some decent speed. He's a decent route runner. He's got some stone hands,
He's
and
a great route runner.
I don't know that I love this pickup unless Jarvis Landry stays in town. If Jarvis Landry stays in town, I think Cooper
Probably
probably
will, right?
benefits from that.
I don't want Jarvis
His
back.
Landry's tweets have been like so cryptic, it's not even funny if you've read any of them. But they're insane. You have no idea if he's coming or going. But Cooper's going to definitely need a solid number 2. That's the reason why they got rid of him in Oakland.
I'd rather have Will Fuller or Brandon Cooks
Ooh.
than Jarvis Landry, to be honest with you.
Did Cooper really run himself out
Depends.
of Dallas, or did he just become too expensive?
Well, he
Yeah.
did.
They
he,
draft. They have a young guy that's coming up.
Oh,
They have
and he
two
also
young
called.
guys.
And
he
he
called
may or may not
Dak
have called
White
Dak.
Kirk or Black Kirk.
Black Kirk.
Oh, he did?
Black
Not
cousins.
wrong.
Yeah.
Black cousins.
So I'm just saying, I'm not. Let's see how that works out. If it works out, great on Cleveland for seeing that, and then let's go back a segment. I'll then put Cleveland maybe in the upper echelon of great front offices.
No.
Talk about
Yeah, talk
your
about your
guy.
guy.
Yeah, because
All right. So it's not a homer pick because I've watched him for a long time, but I think low key one of the best offseason wide receiver acquisitions
You're not about to
is
say it, are you?
Allen Robinson
Oh, okay.
going to the
I
Rams.
thought you were about to say Pringle to the Bears for a second.
No. So it's going to leave a hole. It's going to leave a hole in Chicago.
like Pringles.
It's going to leave
Very
a hole in Chicago, and it instantly jettisons Mooney to wide receiver 1 in Chicago, undoubtedly. But what it does in LA is LA has yet to have somebody with Cooper Kupp that is such a, you talk about Cooper being a great route runner. Allen Robinson is the best route runner in the league, probably hands down. This guy is not the fastest, but he's got amazing hands, and the guy runs crisp routes and is always open. The guy was a target monster in Chicago. If you're a target monster in Chicago, that's saying something because you've played with a ton of shitty quarterbacks. So now you have Allen
Not
Robinson.
fair. Mitch to the moon, baby.
Yeah. Starting quarterback with the Steelers.
So
They know what they're doing, right?
What is it? Mitch track? Whatever the hell we're doing. Anyway,
Trubisky track.
you have Trubisky track. If you have somebody like Allen Robinson who is running these crisp routes, then defenses don't have to necessarily key in Cooper Kupp. And if Cooper Kupp gave us what Cooper Kupp gave us last year, holy shit, what can he do if he's got somebody else that's going to take some focus off of him?
Yeah, he can't get the triple ground again.
I don't know, man.
I think I know.
The Rams are
then
stacked,
Allen Robinson is going to be the guy to get in late rounds then because Allen Robinson is going to be a total.
Rams have
he's
the
going to
best.
be a target whore.
Rams have the best receiving core in the league, hands down. I have
especially if they sign OBJ.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We spent a lot of time on that section. Let's get into our ass of the week,
Jefferson too.
Ass of the week.
That guy's an asshole.
All right. So who do we have this week? There was conversation. Well, there was conversation about who we were going to choose.
Yeah, can we say honorable mention? Ben Simmons is a piece of shit.
I thought you would want to do that, but Phil, you kind of were the deciding
give me
vote,
$20 million.
Yeah.
Tell us who we went with.
Dan Snyder.
Yeah,
I mean, it's obvious.
I like this
The
picture.
Ben
It
Simmons
looks like
thing's a
he's pinching a loaf right there in the field, doesn't it?
It looks like you a little bit.
He looks like somebody going through the transitions
Of what?
Of something
testosterone to estrogen,
Okay.
Oh yeah. See,
You think he's starting to look like a woman there?
Mark's
or vice versa.
Okay.
comments
It's
do not
hard to
reflect
tell.
his
Yeah,
his-
we don't share his thoughts.
co-hosts or his
You guys,
Yeah, so
place of
Dan
work.
you guys
Snyder.
are too soft.
Well, I just don't agree with you. You're an idiot.
Yeah, so
so let's talk about what he did.
yeah, well, Dan Snyder withheld about 40% of ticket revenues
Yes.
to opposing
No, to
owners.
to all the owners in the league.
Yeah, which is literally criminal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they deny it, of course, but he denies
Yeah.
everything. That's
He has
his-
like 4 billion things against him, and it's gone through 3 teams now. Like it started with the Redskins, then he had scandals as the football team owner. Now, literally, the Commanders
How
are a brand
arrogant
new
is this
team.
guy?
Incredibly, like
To think that he wouldn't get caught.
the most like. I can't imagine being the person he told to like be part of that with
Well,
him.
and
Like he didn't do it himself.
There's the whole race allegations because he was caught up
Yeah.
in the whole thing with,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, the guy from the Raiders,
Sound it out.
John Gruden?
John Gruden. Yeah.
Let's not forget about the Carolina training staff that came into town with the underground drug ring either.
Yeah. So he's just. I mean, he
Jeez,
seems
dude.
like how is he still an owner?
Because he has
He won't-
money. He has
he-
a lot of money.
he
Yeah, but
can't be
the-
now.
and his
because
best friend is Jerry Jones.
the
And he
owners
wa-
are going to vote him out now, right?
And he was touching cheerleaders a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they got rid of
Well,
the
that's
Clippers.
a legend.
They got rid of the
Yeah, it's
Clippers
all
owners.
alleged.
You know, the owners a couple years ago.
The Maloofs?
Yeah.
well,
in
they
the
had
NBA.
tape.
I know that's the Kings. The Kings are the Maloofs, right?
Yeah, well, he's gone. If this is true, he's gone.
Yeah,
They're gonna
so-
get rid of him.
But
Yeah.
I think we all believe that he.
I mean, the feds are about to investigate him for this.
He's a 4-time Master of the Week, right? Or at least his team is.
His team is.
Him and-
third or there's a fourth?
I don't know. I
think
thought it
it's
was
the
No, I
third.
think it's the third.
really.
Yeah, they had it back-to-back weeks and then this.
Yeah.
So he's not quite Urban Meyer status, but they're close.
No, Urban Meyer's had 3 too.
Yeah,
now.
Urban
by
Meyer, he's tied.
himself. By himself, though. This is Snyder.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, we did find a pair of scissors in the turf at Washington State.
Well,
We should do that for
the
guys
medical
on
staff
draft.
carries scissors, so you know
We should do that for guys on draft, like worst, just NFL personalities or like.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this was Rocky's arrogance of writing he writes a novel on here for our viewers that have to pause and then they have to spread the shot open.
That's true.
To be able to read everything.
You know what was crazy?
So make
is
sure
that-
you read it because
Zach
there's work
actually
into this.
gave me a kudos for that.
I
Yeah.
kind of because it also is a transition too. Like it
Yeah.
like pops up in case you want the details.
And then
Mark
Mark cut me
doesn't-
down. So
Mark is
Zach built me
caveman.
up, and then Mark. Yeah, words.
I
Ah.
got to keep it, level here.
All right, so we'll go from that and right into our.
So fuck you, dancing.
You just blew my mind.
Now I love that drop.
I added the class.
Yeah, and I don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
But
Maybe because when you watch the Coach K like memorial, like wow, that just blew my mind. It was so touching.
or probably Rocky deleted the drop, right?
So
Something like that. Yeah.
it was. Wait. It was here last week on the board, and during the episode, Mark said, "I can't find
Yeah.
the Stay Classy drop."
Yeah.
So it is my.
Context clues.
What's
that
the
he
theory?
did- my theory is he's a big dumb animal.
Yeah,
Who somehow erased it.
you know what? I gotta agree with
Yeah,
you.
because
You're probably not far off from that assessment.
It's
I'm just going
here.
to throw it out there.
it says classy.
Yeah, and it's not
And
there.
it's not there.
Big dumb
so
animal.
just saying.
All right, so who's the class of the week? Because I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, it is really it's the farewell
Yeah.
to Coach K. It's not really Coach K.
I seen the farewell.
Yeah, the farewell.
It's a good
video.
farewell. It was
It was
touching.
well done.
Yeah, it was well done.
Rocky, in real time, can you spell his last name up there
Oh, I
for
don't- I
our
can't
viewers?
even.
No way.
Can you?
I don't even know if I can pronounce it.
No, I can't either.
Coach K.
Chris is it.
Yeah.
You're close. You're
Close.
probably actually very close.
Yeah.
It sucks that they didn't. I don't know if it sucks, but like they didn't beat North Carolina, so the dance got cut a little short. But
I did want that to happen. I so badly wanted it.
The
Duke to
tribute-
win.
What a sucker. Sucker for the story, huh?
Yeah.
You
Well,
fell-
it's kind of like yeah.
You
I'm
fell into
sorry.
CBS's trap or TBS, whoever is airing it now.
Yeah.
It was a great tribute, though. They did a good job with honoring that guy. I mean, is there going to be a better coach than that, at least in the future?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to
Yeah.
beat for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the longevity piece.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
he
Especially in college ball.
He made Duke basketball. He made that arena.
Yeah, he's,
Even if you judge him just on players that were drafted that went to the NBA that busted because they were so good in college because of what he turned them into, I mean, you could make a legacy out of that. And then the fact, true Coach K fashion, after that game where they lost to the Tar Heels, I don't know if you saw, but he went into the anals of the
Excuse me?
of the arena, and he found
I think it's annals.
It's anals. So he found Beckett, and he said, "You were my MVP." He's like, I really hope that ankle heals up for you because I
Yeah.
think you have a bright future ahead of you. You were my MVP.
Yeah, but didn't the Duke players not not shake hands?
Well, I mean that's not necessarily.
I think that's
on
kind of
him.
on him. Yeah,
I don't know. You know what impressed me is
I don't like Coach K. If you don't really,
I've
Yeah, you
never
can tell
heard
that.
of a ex-player
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't say good things about
Brainwashed.
Coach K.
brainwash.
Whatever it is.
Brainwash.
Elite
Wait a minute.
school, elite people.
That's how many
brainwashed.
years of him coaching where you haven't heard anything bad about him though? How's that brainwash?
Well, there's bad stuff about him.
Why do you not like
Is
him?
there?
Why do you
Yeah.
not like him?
Name some.
I don't know.
I want to. I want to
white.
know. No. You don't get away with. I don't know. I
Why?
want to hear why. You
Well,
don't
he
like-
lied about berating students. Pretty rude to some journalists. I mean, I don't know.
You want to talk about allegedly? That's all alleged.
That's not alleged. It's in the book about him. It happened.
what book?
What book?
Came out last year. I don't know.
the
Coach
Book of
K
K.
book. I don't know.
Coach K. Coach K.
I read the Cliff Notes.
Well,
I don't know. He just strikes me as a guy that's, I don't know,
Privilege.
just disingenuous.
he's not a guy you'd want to grab a beer with.
No, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I feel like,
Is there a basketball coach you'd want to?
have a beer with
Yeah.
Bobby Knight. No,
Bobby Knight, I would, but then
I would
too.
definitely. About
but
that.
only one, because then if he got
like,
drunk,
it has to be a college coach.
yeah, St. Joe's.
No. Why am I blanking on his name? Georgetown. Thompson.
Oh, yeah. Tom.
No, the
George
old-
Thompson.
George Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to have a beer with him.
The
Talk
other-
about the Big East, the old Big East days. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard.
No, not at all. I would like to smack him around.
How about Juwan Howard and Harbaugh in a room with Rocco for?
I'll
Rocco get
pay for
gangbanged.
that. If we reach 750,000 subscribers on YouTube, I
my
will
gosh.
pay for that to happen.
Pay for what?
You'd be
Rocco, Harbaugh, and
You know what we should
Juwan
do?
Howard in the same room.
Honest to God,
Wait a second.
I will not be polite to Harbaugh.
Well, you don't have to.
I know.
You got
don't
money.
have to be. I don't care.
Yeah,
That was
Rocco's got not. I'm not being polite. Money.
Trust me, there's very cheap ways to go about this. I can just lure them. I can catfish them
what's
into
the
a room
time?
with you. I'm
I
not
have,
above that. I will catfish them into a room with you, Rocco.
What is it called when you get like a celebrity or like a famous person to like write a message to you or like do a
You
video?
can do cameo.
I have
Cameo. We should do a
nothing but
cameo for of
disdain.
You can do a
Harbaugh to
cameo.
Rocco.
Nothing but disdain for Harbaugh.
Well, that's understandable.
Just very few. He's a complete piece of trash.
Well, see, that's strong. You know.
That's a clip right there.
750,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I will get you in a room with Harbaugh.
Well, so tune in
John
15
Harbaugh.
years.
I hope you die.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's go to our next section.
Get your nuts off my leg. Hey, get him off.
All right,
Oh
let's.
my gosh.
That never.
The nuts on the leg.
Yeah, it's always brings joy.
It's like someone sitting courtside and like their perimeter player got too close to him or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's what normal people say if they get something
Yeah.
on their legs. But
Not Mark.
Not Mark.
Mark
Mark's
embraces the contact.
like, bring it back in.
Yeah.
full contact.
Mark's a
player.
physical player.
So let's talk about
brother,
first of
thank
all the national championship. What did you guys? What you guys?
Is that what
think?
we're doing?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's the first topic, but you know.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
though?
we
I don't think that's the topic,
It's
but
not
I
how
guess
you
it is
wrote,
now.
but It is now, so roll
Okay.
with it.
I mean, I didn't watch it, so
we talked about this last week. Where like, do you prefer like the number one seed to win the game, or do you prefer like you
Yeah.
know your 16th seeds, your 14th, your 12th seeds to get to the dance and win? I mean, Kansas winning kind of just felt right. I feel,
yeah.
and they came
I
back
don't-
too.
Did anybody watch it though?
No.
Well, I did, and I think what
Nobody
we were
watched it.
what
Okay.
we were talking
I was
about.
watching 90 Day Fiance. I mean,
Were you really? That's
Yeah.
a good show, actually.
yeah.
It's hard not to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we were talking about is the fact that the Tar Heels lost. Does it diminish the fact that they beat Duke?
I think it does.
Yeah. So, and I think,
Yeah.
and I think what also is that the fact that they lost by the fact that Kansas came back,
That's even
Because
Yeah.
they choked. Yeah,
They
now
choked.
that's the
Yeah.
story. But
they choked.
for Duke, it doesn't let Duke up, though. You know, Duke
Yeah.
still has
Yeah,
to
Duke
deal
lost.
with what happened.
Well, and it is like North Carolina versus Duke is similar to Ohio State versus Michigan.
yeah.
Michigan beat Ohio State last year. It didn't matter that Michigan then went and lost to Georgia.
To Ohio.
Yeah. It didn't matter that Michigan then lost to Georgia in the playoffs. They beat Ohio State.
Fun fact: I think people call Ohio the 51st state.
It's the Ohio State. Get it right. So, anyways, but I like Kansas better. I can't stand North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why? What's wrong with North Carolina?
It kind of
No. What don't you like about them?
I just never have followed their program. Never liked their program.
Why?
I've always
Why?
liked Kansas. I tend to like the Midwest more. You know, the teams in the
Then the
Midwest.
South,
Hey,
where
North-
you live,
Obviously.
Rocky?
North Carolina's produced some pretty good quarterbacks. Trubisky.
Trubisky.
Uh,
I'll tell you what, though.
Trubisky's a hell of a quarterback.
The Steelers know what they're doing a lot more than the Bears doing. They went and grabbed them.
We all agree that the Steelers are a top 3 head front office.
I can't wait till this shit blows up in your faces.
Do you know who could make Fields a good quarterback? The Steelers.
The Steelers for sure.
Oh my gosh, this
You know
Fields on
who
the
definitely
Steelers?
could?
Rookie of the year.
Is Harbaugh.
I mean, yeah, that's also kind of true though.
not true at
Lamar
I
Jackson.
think that's true.
I mean, maybe the brother Harbaugh.
That's what I was.
Either
thinking.
Harbaugh.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
I think
near
they're-
You said you would fight the brother.
You did say you would.
I mean,
fight
if he
both
got in the way.
Harbaughs.
I think their sister could make Fields a better quarterback than Mayfield.
Is there a sister?
Doesn't matter.
Is there a sister?
There is
Harbaugh?
now.
There might be. He knows about it.
Do you guys
So-
see the one UNC player during the championship though? He twisted or re-injured his ankle because of the stadium floor.
Oh,
I
really?
hate that.
It
I
buckled
hate
and
that they
moved.
have that. Oh, I thought you were talking about like the
Oh, so it was
drop off by the bench.
No, it was there was a slow mo zoomed in of he went to go play on his foot, and literally the makeshift, because it's a football stadium where they play the championship.
Yeah.
So the board that the player stepped on literally came out, like moved. He got injured, and obviously he was in a shooting slump. He's part of the reason why they lost that game, or at least didn't, they choked the game, but the game changes if he doesn't get hurt like that.
So we all agree that it kind of screws it up, huh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. I
So
think
are we calling it fixed then?
No, I don't think it's
What?
fixed. Yeah.
How's it fixed?
No.
What
Nobody
also-
even said that.
well, it
Why
also
are you
kinda
saying, no, we calling it fixed now?
This guy.
Controversy.
Yeah.
I like to fix Mark.
Sorry, you call it fixed then?
Cut it up.
All right, so what? And the other thing we were talking about, Coach K.
Yeah, what's
After losing his last game at Cameron Indoor to NC and then getting eliminated in the Final Four by NC, do we think he pulls a Tom Brady? Do we think that he can go? I don't know how close to you guys, even though I hate him. He's obsessed with winning, this guy, right?
I don't.
And the fact that he lost to that team
In that fashion.
the way he
Yeah.
did twice to end his career, would you be? He has the power to do it, right? He could just come back if he wants to.
he
Yeah.
could. I
Do
just
we
don't
think there's a chance that he pulls a Brady and shows up?
Can I
I don't
make a point?
see Bruce Arians taking a position in that
smells like
front
beer.
office of North Carolina.
You spoke into it 1 week, and this smells
Smells like beer.
beer.
He's it's coming through his pores.
Yeah, it does. It's like
Well, when you drink it by the canister,
It's because you have an excellent sniffer attached to the front of that thing you call
my
a
nose
face
is
over there.
big, but it smells like I'm breathing into a Foster's can.
well, that's probably, I mean, he's it's basically a chug jug.
I'm trying to think. I may have actually had a Foster's last week. That's funny.
Yeah, it smells like Foster's and shame.
Do you think Bruce Arians
He's
would
not
accept a
ashamed.
job in the front administration of Duke?
What about what?
You said, would he pull a Tom Brady? I'm assuming you mean push Bruce Arians into the front office of Duke.
Mark, this is bad.
I hope for his sake that he does not come back. I hope this is retirement because he said it's for all the right reasons. Spend time with his grandkids.
That's what Tom Brady said
But
too.
fuck them kids. He wants to coach.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
That's what Brady said.
I mean, you saw the meme about how bad were Brady's kids that a month into it. He
Yeah.
Yeah.
back,
Kissing his son on the lips all day. I mean, come on. Hey, Mark,
Earth to mark.
you don't have to shoot every shot. You know what I'm saying?
I like to shoot shots.
That's his
though.
basketball player.
That's my
coming
thing.
You
out.
don't have to do that.
That is, yeah.
You know how you score a lot of points? You take a high percentage of shots.
Put some jokes on the bench though, because then you wind up there too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say he does not come back.
Okay.
Although it's very tantalizing.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think there's a chance he does. I don't want. I mean, if we're hot take, yeah, he comes back, but not sure.
No.
These guys get addicted to winning. I think, like to your point, I think
Oh,
it's
he's
hard.
sick about winning. You know who
Yeah,
his
it's
favorite
hard.
player he ever coached was?
No.
Kobe Bryant. Oh, professional. He made that distinction, but that was apparently his favorite player. he ever
On the
coached.
Dream Team when he coached the
I was
Dream
saying-
Team.
yeah, I was
you're
gonna
talking
say,
about?
yeah, because Kobe went right into the NBA,
Yeah.
but he
Well, he coached
him in
three
the
of
Dream.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
PA native.
yeah, but you know what, Kobe, right? I mean, he retired.
Well, he had to. You know.
Does anybody else think
But-
that Coach K did it right though, and never tried to make the he knew his lane. He never tried to transition into the NBA, and I have a lot of respect for that. There are some coaches that shouldn't try to go. Urban Meyer, case in point. You're a respectable college coach. At some point, stay in your lane, man. Don't. You might not know the transition. You can develop talent, but you might not know how to make talent work at the next level.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that was a smart choice. I mean, I guess it bared out, so yeah, it was smart for him to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's ever been a college basketball coach that's gone to the NBA and done well.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens, and then there was the guy that
The old Sixer coach too, right during the Allen Iverson days.
Sixers and
Hubie
he's
Brown,
bald.
right?
Remember the ball? Gosh,
Hubie Brown coached college, right?
trying to think who he coached.
There's somebody on the tip of my tongue. I can't.
Yeah, there
remember
is.
who it is.
And I want to say he coached it
Excuse me.
or played it. He played for.
Tarkanian. If you're talking about UNLV.
No, he
Well, why don't
played
we come
for
back to it?
North
Huh?
Carolina, yeah.
Larry Brown.
'Cause nobody wants to hear you thinking about it.
That's fair. That's incredibly fair.
So
The gears.
Coach K. So does everybody? You guys all say no. I said yes. All right, I'll be the lone wolf.
Say no.
He'll come back. Just like I said, Brady was coming back.
And yeah, you were right.
Well, a couple of us did, right?
Yeah.
I said 49ers, but he just got rid of Arian. So.
Yeah, I think we may have all said it. We
yeah,
thought
I
he'd
think
come
so.
back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we knew that was full of crap.
Yeah. Take that Papa.Jake11. I think I
Yeah.
said something about our
Yeah,
takes.
but I don't
so
want to
far.
get into the TikTok guys because I'll go on for 10 minutes. All right. Bats and balls and balls and bats and bats and balls and balls and bats and balls and bats and bats and balls and balls and bats and bats and balls and baseball. My wife's embarrassed by that.
It sounds
She
like you're
should
having
be.
an orgasm.
Do you think so? I'm just committed.
It sounds like
send.
you're coming into an orgasm, and then you realize
Is that how
it.
orgasms sound for you?
That sounds
Baseball!
like something. That sounds like something that should have played during the credits of "There's Something About Mary." That's what it sounds like.
Fair. Wow. Such
So what-
an old reference.
So
I
what
have
topic?
no idea what that even was.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Oh,
You'd
come
like
on,
it.
man.
Oh,
yeah,
would I?
you
Yeah.
would like it.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Read the room, Mark.
Yeah. So, which topic are we talking about? Mark,
So honestly, we should put that on a
Major
t-shirt.
League Baseball.
it's your favorite again, Mark.
Major League Baseball
I put worse.
is
Pause.
has approved the use of a device to stop sign stealing. So we read up on it real quick, right? And it's basically a device that's going to be on, I think, the catcher and the pitcher's wrist. They're going to be able to press the button to send the pitch and I guess approve it or whatever. So it's supposed to cut down on a lot of it. So like how much, I don't know how much you guys watch, but I know you watch baseball a lot. How much do we think it actually affects games? And
Is that time consuming? That process of them like
it's just I don't
proving
think so.
it and
Wow.
will that slow a game down at all? You think,
Well,
or-
their Wi-Fi is like on point, honestly, because if
I don't know if it'd
there's
be
any
Wi-Fi
glitch,
though.
no,
It'd probably just, if they're like 90 feet away, it'd probably just be some.
everything seems
just-
Wi-Fi nowadays. Bluetooth.
Stealing signs the old-fashioned way. It's been part of baseball forever, right?
Yeah.
Forever.
and it's been celebrated to some degree. But
Gamesmanship.
yeah, but I'm kind of excited to see it because I think that it's gotten to a whole new level as technology's changed.
It's evolved.
It's
yeah.
evolved. Like I
The
think,
Astros.
yeah, the Astros things it's just honestly it pissed me off.
Well, it evolved to cheating, is what it did.
Yeah, absolute making subpar players become a lot better than what.
Well,
they
just
were.
to touch on the Astros thing, you're talking about the thing they got busted for, right?
Yeah, they had TVs in the dugouts.
I mean,
no,
you had,
in back of the dugout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flat
had-
out. You know,
you had guys wearing devices
Well,
like they were going into like a
That's a different year.
mafia
That's
thing.
a different thing, though. So that's what I'm making the distinction. They were found guilty of. They admitted to the 2017 thing,
right.
which was the banging on the trash cans and all that jazz. But that didn't happen till what the winter of 2019 or right before 2019 when they won. There wasn't what you're talking about, and I think it happened against the Yankees. It eliminated the Yankees.
Right.
Altuve hit a home run
Right.
when he came home. He didn't want to let anybody take his shirt off, rip his shirt off, and said because his wife would get mad or something. But there was a rumor that they were using devices
Yep.
on their body to signal what pitches were coming. So
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it is. But I think the big thing with the Astros is that there were teams using devices back in like 2015. The Red Sox, I think the Yankees too.
Well,
but it wasn't illegal at that time. That's the distinction that was made.
It wasn't illegal,
it
but
wasn't
it was
illegal.
still wrong. Like to me, it's the spirit of the game.
I'm not talking about
Because-
that because I'm not speaking from like a moral high ground like you do.
Well, but you
I'm just
remember when
saying
the
rules.
Indians played the Red Sox.
Uh-huh.
The Indians were up 3-0 on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
The Red Sox came back and beat them.
Yeah.
That was the series.
Still, but it wasn't.
Wow, the Guardians now.
Well, what I'm saying is that if it's not illegal, whatever. So
Yeah.
they found a loophole. They exploited it. The problem with the Astros is that it was then outlawed by that time, and they received a letter about it, and then they still continued to do it. So
Yeah.
I think that's why they were punished. The front office was punished the way it was, and they lost draft picks. Anyway, so what we're saying though is that it has to be pretty intense, or league wide, or there's I think a lot of teams are pushing the envelope.
They
to the
have to
point where
know
they're-
it's happening.
the MLB's doing this because I don't think they
Yeah.
can prosecute every team in the league.
No, I mean they have to know this is pretty widespread or it's getting pretty deep. Otherwise, they wouldn't develop this technology and go with it.
Listen, I'm all for if you get a guy in scoring position, if you get a guy on second, and he's trying to tip off the batter to what's being called.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guess what? You earned being on
100%.
second base. So tip off the pitch. But I mean, if you're using cameras and you're zooming in, kind of like you have to do to read
Just
your
too
shit up
sweaty.
here, then it's like it just reads a little too like Robert Crafty to me. Like you eliminate that from the game altogether. It's got to be in the spirit of the game. It's got to be in real time, and it's got to be something that it's organic and not like premeditated.
Well, and here's the deal. And I know you guys are big market teams, so you'll probably feel different. But there's already a lot stacked against some teams, right?
Like who?
Like Tampa Bay and like for sure the
Tampa
Indians.
Bay's thriving though.
They're thriving, but the last thing they need is to play the Red Sox, and then the Red Sox to use means to cheat them out of.
I agree,
fair.
but that's why they made the rule after
And this
that
is
year.
and this is right because I agree. It's just like that's been in baseball forever.
Forever.
That's fine, because it's your smarts, your eyes, and all that.
Yeah.
I agree with this.
When you bring electronics in, I think
I
it
mean,
takes it to
we
another
were
level.
taught in Little League to try to read, like, hey, do you notice any pattern when you're on second base when there is, when there's pitches
it's like
being
trying
called?
to time up a quarterback's cadence.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, we're all for this.
I like it. I think the big reason why they did it is because there's been so much talk about the Astros and who else is doing whatever that I think they want to kind of nip. They want that talk to go away, and you bring this into the game. Anytime you bring it up, you can say, "Well, how can they steal signs?" We got this technology. So
The timing's shitty. They should have done it 2 years ago. They should have rolled it out immediately after.
they might not have it developed yet, though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it
I
seems.
think they were testing it out in the minors the last 2 years.
Yeah.
How many? I have a question. How many games, like how many actual baseball games do you watch in a season?
0 right now.
Okay, 0. How about you?
I think we did this before. But
we?
Did you?
Yeah. I watch well over 100, and if I can, I'd sit down and watch all 162.
Yeah, no.
And they got to cut that in half for me to be interested.
probably like 30 to 40.
Yeah. So I'm probably.
Are you talking about my team or just in general?
Well, I mean,
I watch
your
like 30,
team-
40 Yankee games.
Yeah.
I'm probably a bit more.
I don't even have a baseball team, to be honest with you.
Well,
You're a man with no country.
the Guardians welcome you.
Well,
You don't want to do that.
So hard to
You
say.
don't want to go there.
You're going to be a Mets fan, man.
I would say it's hard to find Indians game.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Indians games
nobody,
on.
Nobody cares.
Honestly, it's probably a great time to be a Tampa fan.
I would.
yeah, but
I
that's
would
too
say
easy.
I probably watch 6-7 games a season. I'll watch highlights, and then if they make the playoffs or toward the end of the season, I get serious.
Yeah.
Except for that one streak where they won 22 games in a row, and then I watched.
We dialed in, and then
Yeah.
they got
I do want to
eliminated.
commit to at least
Yankees
like
beat
20.
them, right? Remember that?
No, I'll say 10
Was that the
baseball
year the
games.
Yankees beat them, or was that the year?
No, you guys went up 2-0 on us, I think, that year. With Kluber?
Yeah.
I will say there's only one better postseason than the MLB, and that's the NFL. MLB postseason is
I
just
don't
it's
agree
a
with that at
completely
all.
different atmosphere.
Don't agree with that take.
What do you like, NBA?
NHL
Yeah.
is the best playoffs. Have you watched it?
You
or
say
just making
playoffs?
faces?
I have.
Or what'd you say? Off
Postseason.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think you said
Postseason.
off season.
So like October baseball is fantastic.
I think live being in a stadium, baseball in the playoffs is fantastic.
Yeah.
I do agree.
yeah,
with
but you got to be
Nice
at the
humble
game though.
flex.
Yeah.
no, I've only been to
Box office at the
You know what I
Guardians.
know what I love when I umpire at the World Series. It's amazing. You should try it. Everybody should try that before they die.
You know, I mean, that really wasn't a humble flex. I've only been to one playoff baseball game, but
Where does Jersey reside
was
with
exciting.
the Mets, the Yankees? Like,
Say that one.
like if I were to pick a baseball team from Jersey City, but I'm a Sixers and Eagles fan.
I mean,
you
if
can't
you're
just say
gonna
the Mets.
if you're
If
gonna
you're a
pick a
Sixer, then
team,
you're a Phillies fan.
if you're gonna pick a team, why wouldn't
I
you
almost-
pick the Yankees? Because you know the Mets are gonna suck, let you down.
That's true. Like I have some leverage here, but I don't.
I would say North Jersey is typically
Yankees.
more Yankees. Mets
Okay.
are more like Queens,
Yeah.
Rhode Island, Staten Island.
Okay.
It usually goes Mets, Jets,
Yeah.
and then usually
Well,
goes
we
Giants,
are Jets
Yankees.
fans though. We
It's
are a
what-
Jets
it's
family.
Mets, Jets, Islanders, right?
Yeah, Mets, Jets, Islanders.
Oh fuck, so I'm a Mets fan. We're a Jets family.
Yeah, well, there
My
you go,
dad's a
you're
huge
Mets
Jets fan.
So your
It
dad is
falls in
probably a
line.
Mets fan.
Yeah, but he doesn't watch baseball either though. They didn't have TV in the railroad apartments.
And it's Yankees, Giants, Rangers,
Knicks.
Because I want to
Knicks are
commit.
for both
I
of
want to
them.
commit to like 10 baseball games at least next year. Like I want to do a little bit more
That's it.
baseball. Thank you for that one, Rocco. Shut
You're
up.
acting like Mark over there.
So what?
So I guess I got to pick a
am.
team first to watch. You know,
I
what
will
mean?
tell you that if you wait, DeGrom has a fractured scapula right now, so he's out at least 4 weeks. If you watch probably the beginning, Jacob DeGrom,
Yeah.
best pitcher in baseball, probably best
go-
pitcher
Hey,
in the
did
history
you-
of
Go
baseball.
Mets.
Did you draft him in the last draft?
I want to hear him make this point.
No,
Yeah,
because
go.
fucking Josh got him right before I did.
Make this point.
So if you watch probably end of May, you'll see DeGrom and Max Scherzer,
Okay.
the best and top five best pitchers in all of baseball in that rotation.
These are
what-
Mets players.
These are pitchers. Here's what I'll say to you, okay?
Okay.
Usually when a girl is like begging you to come hang out with them,
Yeah.
that's not the girl you want.
So I have like the
okay?
most commented like.
You see,
or-
he's trying to sell you right
or
now.
when a girl puts on a lot of makeup and buys expensive clothing,
You guys have a higher.
and asks you to pick her up at her house,
Ladies, please.
in your car.
Hey,
That's like the Yankees.
enough
your
Zach
guy's
to go
salary
around.
cap is higher than ours.
It is this year for the first time because we finally have an owner that wants to spend.
And why? Because of
I
that
literally-
picture that you're trying to sell him on right now?
No, because
Okay,
we're
shut
tired of the
fuck up.
Yankees for the last 120 fucking years.
I will say,
being
though,
the most
You
expensive
spent
team.
all the money and half
Dude,
two
you're the-
starting pitchers are not going to play in the first 2 months.
You're the Dallas Cowboys of the MLB. That's all I have to say.
27.
You're the Dallas Cowboys.
27, and your best years were 2 crackheads playing. All right, shut up.
Yeah, but they were good crackheads.
They were good crackheads.
They were better with the Yankees.
Oh, that almost sold.
Model citizens.
I'm just saying I was a
Because you
wee
can't get good
I was
Coke,
like 8,
Oh, then we won the World Series.
9, and I knew what Mets stood for. Like I knew nothing about baseball, and I knew like what
Metropolitans.
I knew like what the joke like abbreviation for Mets stood for.
Oh,
There
what
you
is
go.
that?
which is what?
I don't want to say it.
No,
I
say it.
guess
You have to say it now.
I guess I'm a Mets fan now. Right?
Say it. Yeah.
What is it?
They said it stood for my entire team sucks. That's
There
what
you
they
go.
said. Yeah.
You know
Here's
what
the one
Yankees
bright,
stands for?
one
They
bright
stood
spot
for
about
it.
the Mets is that Billy Joel closed down Shea Stadium. That's awesome. That's about it.
All right.
Shea was a shithole though. You ever been to
Yeah,
Shea?
it sucks.
Shea
But
was
City
a
feels
shithole.
nice. All right, we're talking about the baseball for way too long.
Yeah. That's it, right?
That's it, guys. I mean, this was another journey into lands unknown, and it was
Yeah.
interesting. It was long. Mark talked a lot, and I'm going to cut some of it out, Mark, so don't be surprised. But
That's okay.
I think
You're
we
cutting
got
out the
some,
best shit.
we got some gems. So please like us. Please like us. Follow us. Please. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell. All you TikTok guys, you can cut this. If you're on TikTok and you don't like what we say, listen to us a little bit, give us a chance. And if you don't like it, then you call in and debate us.
Yeah, go to YouTube and listen to all the
We'd
details.
love that.
Yeah.
We'd love that. Please follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, UFL Podcast, at UFL Podcast. And don't be shy to comment. We know you're not. Peace.